Hello everybody. Today we're going to put a control system, a battery system, and a sound system into this Bachmann 040 Porter locomotive. There's not a lot of room, but we're going to squeeze everything in. Here on the right you see two 7-volt batteries that I'm going to hook in series, and they will go right here in this water tank after a bit of surgery that we will look at a bit later. Here we have a Soundtraxx TSU 4400 steam decoder. Here we have an AirWire C60 receiver. Here we have what looks like a speaker, but it's actually what they call an exciter. And it's a little different than a speaker in that it has no cone and only has the voice coil and the magnet in it. And the point of these exciters is to rigidly attach them to some structure, preferably sort of an enclosure, and they make the whole thing resonate. And in this case, we're going to glue it underneath the roof of the cab here. I have used this quite frequently in other locomotives, and it works just fine. The last item is this power plug here that we are going to use as a charging jack, and it is going to be mounted right behind the smoke box here, and the smoke box door will open, and you can plug the battery charger into that. And also behind the smoke box door is a smoke on-off switch that we are going to repurpose as a power switch for the whole system. This locomotive actually comes apart pretty easily. Screw here, a screw here, which I've already removed, and a screw here, one here, and the opposite side here and here. And once all these screws have been removed, which I have already done, we can just lift the body off. Okay, we also have to take the smoke box cover off the front, which is quite easy to do. And then we lift up the back. Sure we do. And we move everything to the front, and sure enough, come on, there we go. As you see, there is not much on the inside. And that's because I removed it previously. But let me just set a few items back in there, and you can see what it actually looks like before I remove those components. As it comes from the factory, there is a large circuit board that has various components on it, but it's mainly there to make up connections and will handle power coming from the track, which I have already removed from here. Also a smoke unit that we're not going to use, and here is a huge weight that we're going to have to modify in order to get the batteries in. But let me just remove this, and we're going to remove this, and what we're going to do is cut this off right here and here. It will reduce the size of the weight, but it will make space to get the two batteries in, one on each side. And although the batteries are not as heavy as the weights, they will compensate somewhat for the loss of the weight in attractive power. It was a bit easier than I thought. And this is what the weight looks like after I had a go at it with the angle grinder and a hacksaw. It's been reinstalled. Batteries are going to be set on edge right along here and here. And I was able to find an old piece of weight that I had removed from another project, and it just happens to slip in here. So to compensate from the loss of weight for the pieces that I chopped off. Okay, here is a quick test fit of all the components so far. The two large white things are the batteries, and here is the Soundtraxx TSU 4400 decoder, and here is the AirWire C60 receiver with a little antenna that probably will stay where it is. And here I have fashioned the charging port or charging jack. Next, we have to just wire it all up. Before we do that, let's take a quick look at the wiring. It's not all that complicated. It just shows basically power from its source, which can be a track or the battery, going to the receiver, and from there DCC signals going to the decoder, and the decoder essentially carrying out the commands to run the motor or light the lights. This is a quick sketch of the charging circuit showing the battery, the DCC receiver, the on-off switch, and the three-prong charging jack. It's pretty simple. Note that the red lines indicate the positive and the black lines indicate the negative from the battery. And here it is with everything connected and turned on. You hear the air pumps idling in the background. And next thing is to go for a ride on the tracks.